podium going through, we will see how the race panned out. Oh. Sorry about that, guys. We are here for 2022 World Cup Season 3, Round 5, where we find ourselves at Autopolis for GT3 Series 3, Tier 3. I am your commentator, Justin Silva, also known as Just Game and Real. This race has been presented by RWB Racing and is sponsored by Detailing Group Incorporated. Also, it has been sponsored by Metropolis, High Pre, and Pride at the Dragon. Here today at Autopolis, we're gonna actually, before we get to Autopolis, we're gonna flash back to the podium finishers at Kyoto. We're taking the race win. We do see RWB Venom, RWB J Rod, and ART Wooly. And with that rounding up the podium finishers, we now move down to the race results. And as we did just say, RWB Venom takes the race win at Kyoto, with RWB J Rod in second, ART Wooly in third. Then we see RWB Little Mac in fourth, Icer Grays 1 in fifth, ATK, which is Attack Motorsport, in sixth. Then we have RRMT626V6 in 7th. 8th place was Carbon Boy 84. In 9th place we have I Am Supermex. In 10th we have Icer Renegade 575. In 11th place we have Green 1879. In 12th we have Big Red _ U of A. 13th we have Egoni. And 14th we have TTV Bite the Roses. Now we go to the standings, where we see ATK _ 037 with the most points so far is leading the Drivers' Championship with 55 points. Close in second place is RWB Venom after getting that race win at Kyoto, pushes his way up to second with 54 points. In third place we have ART Wooly after getting third place at Kyoto, pushes his way up to 53 points. And fourth, RWB J Rod pushes his way up to fourth with 51 points. And fifth, we have Icer Grays 1 with 48 points. In sixth, we have Carbon Boy with 38 points. In seventh, we have TTV Bite the Roses with 32 points. In eighth, we have I Am Supermex with 31 points. In ninth, we have Little Mac, RWB Little Mac to be exact, with 24 points. Tied for that ninth place position is Icer Renegade with 24 points as well. Egoni in 11th with 23 points. And 19th, we have Green 1879 with 19 points. And 13th, we have Viper Fang with 16 points. And 14th, we have Big Red U of A with 11 points. And in 15th, we have RRMT626V6 with 9 points. Now we are going to look at the starting grid here tonight, with Big Red taking pole position. And in second, sharing the front row, is going to be Green 1879. And third, we have Egoni. And fourth, we have I Am Supermex. And fifth, we have Icer Renegade. And sixth, we have Carbon Boy. And seventh, we have Bite the Roses. And eighth, we have ATK. In 9th, we have Icer Grays 1. In 10th, we have Little Mech. In 11th, we have Venom. In 12th, we have J-Rod. And 13th, we have Wooly. And in 14th, we have Clint Freedom, who did not set... Actually, who did not even start. So they're going to be going at the back of the grid. And now, as we take this time for the drivers to make their way in, we're going to be also remembering one of our own, as we had a man recently pass away. Very unfortunate to see. Just trying to find something real quick. Give me a sec, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, and of course, to the people back at home, we had everyone shared an all-black number 213 livery for any drivers that wishes to remember as Quadmodo, who tragically lost his life to lung cancer a few days prior. You will be missed, my dear friend. Even though I have never met you, everyone here will have mad respect for you, my good sir. And I hope your family as well. I hope that you are in a better place, and I hope that we all can cope from this and hopefully learn from this experience to help better us as people and humans, because we all make mistakes and we all experience hardship, but through hardship it builds character, in my opinion. And I hope everyone could push forward through this. We are now going to look at the lobby real quick, as we are waiting for drivers to practice their final few practices, and we'll be having a formation lap. And of course, just to describe the track, we are at Autopolis Short, and the car that we are using is the Hyundai Genesis GR4. The tires that the drivers are allowed to use is only one set of softs and one set of mediums, with 2% wear on those tires, so they should be lasting a long time, with also 2 times consumption. Sorry, not 2% wear, 2 times the wear and 2 times the consumption. For the pit window, it will start from 50 minutes prior. No, 15 minutes left. Sorry, I'm still saying 15, sorry. Pause, rewind, pause, play. The pit window will start when there is 50 minutes left in the race. Then we have 40 minutes. That is when it closes. Any pit stops prior or after the pit window will be getting time penalties, and a second to be exact. And the only way that you'll be able to go into the pit lane and have it not do with time penalties is only if, and only if, you have damage to the vehicle. Now we are going to check out the drivers on the track. Let's see how all of these drivers are doing. As we are actually going to talk about our sponsors for here today. I did say their names, but I didn't really give an accurate description of them. Actually, the first person we're going to be talking about is Detailing Group Inc., which is a company that carries out Tekla Structures 3D, which is a powerful BIM software, in addition to also being the leader in 3D designing world, where basically Tekla Structures 3D is mainly used in the construction scene, where what's called architects get their blueprints and they have it fully designed on their screen. Next, we have High Pre, which is an international esports team that is based in Mexico, where, a fun fact, the members have experience in the real life racing scenarios. The real thing, ladies and gentlemen. The real thing, which of course includes coaching, design, photography, FIA administration, and of course real racing. Special thanks to them for the graphics on the screen, as they are crucial for making it a better viewing experience for you guys at home. We also have Metropolis, which is a company that develops call centers, call accounting, 911, and emergency management, while also helping those companies and people with telemanagement application for businesses of all types in the US and abroad. And actually, to save for penultimate is actually Pride at the Dragon, which actually one of our own commentators of Taddy is actually the head of, which if you guys didn't know, Pride at the Dragon is a vacation event that caters to so basically lesbians, bisexuals, and plus all of them, LGBTQ plus car enthusiasts. They stay at a resort near the Tail of the Dragon, which is a famous road in North Carolina. They go on drives on the Trail of the Dragon and surrounding roads. Taddy, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to have Pride at the Dragon. And if you guys are interested, go talk to Taddy in the Discord if you are interested and you are near the North Carolina area, or if you're willing to make the drive. And of course, 12 Ounce Sports Network, thank you so much. And for Metropolis and Digital Group Inc., it is digitalgroup.com and metropolis.com. And I believe with HighPre, it is highpre.com.mx. And just to go over it once again, we have the GT Champ pit stops. Or actually, while we wait, we're going to be having our tribute. So a minute of silence for our man, Asquamoto. And of course, once again, that race was those formation laps were for our man as Quadmodo. You sincerely will be missed by all of us at GT Champions. May your angel wings grow and fly, as you are such a strong person. And I actually had a very close friend pass away to pancreatic cancer as well, and I know how much it does hurt to see someone that you care so much be taken away by cancer. As we can all say, screw cancer. As we can all say, screw cancer. And you will surely be missed. As Quadmodo, this race is for you. From GT Champions, you are loved, you'll be missed, and you can never, ever be replaced. An extraordinary person. Extraordinary man. Or woman. I did not know them personally, but as Quadmodo, you will surely be missed. But that rounds up our ceremonial tribute to As Quadmodo, and the tribute will still continue as we have a whole 90-minute endurance race here today at Autopolis shortcut course. The Autopolis, to be exact, the Autopolis International Racing Course, the shortcut course, where once again these drivers will have one set of softs and one set of mediums, 2 times the wear, 2 times the fuel consumption. The pit windows opens at 50 minutes to the final, so basically 40 minutes after the race starts, and it closes out 40 minutes until the race ends. And that's going to be a huge challenge for these drivers here today. But before this race starts, let's have a word from one of our sponsors. Hello all, and welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks again to Metropolis for sponsoring GT Champions, and we are proud to have you as one of our loyal sponsors. But let's actually look at this track real quick of Autopolis Short. A very long finishing straight. Into turn 1 is a sharp right-hander. As we are actually going to go on board with some of the drivers to see if they can give us a little bit of what we are looking for. So we're actually going to go on board with a go. No, we're actually gonna go fully on board with this. With them as they reach turn 1, probably breaking around maybe the 100-meter mark, maybe just after that. But into turn 1, any stops on the track. But yeah, so right after turn 1, you make your way onto downhill of turn 2. Just a very slight turn, as we could actually be going on board with... I'm trying to find out who that is on track. Who is that on track? There we go. Bite the Roses as we into turn 3 is a sharp right-hander to the double apex of turn 4 and turn 5 to a very sharp hairpin of turn 6. Get probably to the second or first gear if you're trying to get the shotgun exit as we make our way into turn 7, and then the long turn 8 left-hander. Gotta get trying to carry as much pace on this turn, as it's going to be very, very crucial as we make our way into the short right-hander of turn 9 to the penultimate turn of turn 10, trying to brake as much as you can because this downhill can mess up those tires as we make our way up to turn 11 to the finishing straight. And that is pretty much it. As we see, Bite the Roses is actually taking out some of the roses as he makes his way into the grass path on the right side of the track. And this track could definitely give us a lot of opportunities, especially here turn 1. Could be a pretty crucial overtaking part as we're watching Bite the Roses give us a little bit of a short representation. Oh, and he just hit the grass a little bit, getting a little bit of sliding on that left side of that Hyundai Genesis GR4 car, of course, representing... Actually, yeah, so Michael, I believe that is... Yep, that is, A Squad Moto. As I think I did say their name correctly. I'm very apologetic if I got that wrong. I'm just trying to get the name. I'm pretty sure it's A Squad Moto. I'm pretty sure that's what I've been saying. Yep, A Squad Moto. Born in 1978, died in 2022. Rest in peace, my dear friend. Number 213. No one can ever take that number from you. That number is now locked in, and you will surely be missed. As we are just waiting for a few of the drivers to make their way onto the track for just a little bit of quick practice before we start. The proud Canadian, as you can see on the livery of that blue Hyundai, Igoni. That's Igoni. Yeah, so I actually really like the look of that car. It's like you got the blues, you got the reds, you got the whites, practically representing both Canada, probably America, and also probably in the UK as well, with the British colonized the Union Jack colors on that car. But still looks very nice with the red rims as well, very prominent with those tires, as you can see. As we are now going to go right behind. Is that right behind them? Who was that? Yep, I just missed it. Give me a sec, guys. Well, we'll check. We'll check again later. But the thing is, with this car, especially with only having one set of tires, well, actually two sets of tires, one of them being softs, one of them being mediums, it's going to be very tough to see who is going to be coming out on top. Of course, we have names like Venom, who was our previous race winner at Kyoto. We also have ART Willie and J-Rod. J-Rod, from what I've been told by some of the members of GT3, GTC-3, is that this man right here, J-Rod, knows how to preserve the fuel and the tire wear, and could be a huge push for a race win. Drivers ready? Yep, we are. I'm ready in the comms box. I hope you guys are ready back at home, and I hope these drivers can put on for us an outstanding show. I'm actually very excited making my full debut here at GTC. I'm actually very excited. I'm actually very, very excited. Everyone is saying, get ready. And looks like we are about to start 90 minutes here at Autopolis Shortcut Circuit. We're gonna see who comes out on top. It's gonna be 90 minutes of continuous racing, outstanding racing as always, and we could be seeing some very, very close battles all over the field. But it's also making me wonder who is really going to get on top, because I'm a little bit impatient. I want to see who comes out on top regardless. That's all I want to know. Me personally, that is all I want to know. Because I am very, very excited. I am shaking a little bit because I know these drivers want to get a very good turnout. They want to get a very good result here. But we will soon find out. As we're waiting for the last few drivers to say that they are ready to start, we are now going to see who will come out on top. And of course, I will be following the grid all over to see who gets it. As we do see Gray's one just having a casual stroll in the tribute car. Just enjoying themselves a little bit, giving themselves a little bit of a relaxing cool down before the race start. As there it is, Venom has started the final 5 seconds to see all of the cars on the starting grid. Who's going to come out on top? I hope you guys are ready, because I am in the comms box. Let's see, 90 minutes at the Autopolis International Racing Course, the shortcut course. Let's see who comes out on top. Of course, we're going to be leading by Big Red. A lot of high names here today, but now we're going to see who comes out on top. And there we go, second red. And here we go, green, green, go, 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 go. Here we are for round 5 of the GTC-3 series, and it looks like Big Red actually had an outstanding start, taking turn 1 first. We have a few battles near the back of the grid. We're actually going to go down to Carbon Boy. Looks like he is having a pretty good start as well, as he is pushing his way into 6th place. On the inside has Icer Grace 1 trying to get the position, close battles, and actually we're going to go down to 10th place as we see ATK and ART Wooly going side by side. ART Wooly having an outstanding start, starting near the back of the grid, and is now right behind the Portuguese driver of ATK. J-Rod close behind in 12th. 13th we have Venom, and 14th we have Clint Freeman. Venom, of course, is our drivers. Actually got the win back at Kyoto in the Viper, as we are looking now for Clint Freeman actually making the dive and going past both Venom. Oh, and we have a spin out, and I believe, who was that? That was Bite the Roses. We're actually going to check that out real quick. Let's see what happened with that man. As we're seeing, he was battling for 4th place in 5th. Got a braking, had to go around the outside, a little bit of bumper cars, and looks like he got spun around on the penultimate turn of the first lap. Very unfortunate, but we still have much racing left to come. As it looks like Igano takes the lead at this point. The Canadian driver up by a second. Big Red closing behind, starting in pole position, but has fallen down to 2nd. Supermax in 3rd, Renegade in 4th, Grays 1 in 5th, Green. Oh, actually Wooly, look at the pace of Wooly pushing his way up to 6th, and it's only been 2 laps. Must be starting on those softs, has to be. Representing amigos. Let's see if ART Wooly can get the job done into the penultimate corner. He is up to 6th, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make another move, as we're actually seeing Green and ATK go side by side around the penultimate corner, and now the final corner, and ATK has gotten the position up to 7th place. An amazing overtake from ATK. Now Green has to watch out because Clint Freeman is right behind, looking on the inside with the late braking. He's going for it early on in this race, and he's going up to 8th. And now Venom and Little Mac gonna go having a little bit of a battle of their own, as we see Venom and Little Mac were going side by side. Ashley still going side by side, could be 3 wide, as we see Venom trying to squeeze in between Green and Little Mac, but couldn't get the job done, as we just saw a car come off, and that's Little Mac. Little Mac is completely off of the track. Very unfortunate for him, as we are looking all over the field for a close battle, and it looks like Grays 1 and Renegade and also Superbacks are very close here. Could be having a battle of their own. Very, very close, these drivers. Could be just a late braking zone into a position change, and it looks like Grays 1 got a little bit slower into the penultimate corner, but got the shotgun exit. It's going to be having Slipstream and that Hyundai Genesis GR4, of course the tribute livery for Ace Quad Moto. What a beautiful design that we have here, and I don't think it could have been any better to represent as Ace Quad Moto. And actually, as I did just say that, Grays 1 almost actually got the overtake on Renegade into turn 1, but couldn't get the job done. And now we're looking at Wooly with the drive of a lifetime so far already, pushing his way towards the 5th place position. And I actually know him pretty well. ART Wooly actually recommended me for this league. He actually is the reason that I am here today. Thanks again, ART Wooly. So far it's been extraordinary racing, but now it looks like have a battle near the back of Carbon Boy and J-Rod. J-Rod trying to get past because his main competitor is Wooly and Venom, as they are all close for the Drivers' Championship. But it looks like Carbon Boy is holding him off just a little bit, and J-Rod is not going to be liking that too much, as we're now going to go up to 9th place, as we see Venom trying to make the move on Clint Freeman into the finishing straight. They're now side by side. It's a drag race here, ladies and gentlemen, as we make our way into turn 1, and Venom was actually able to get the position done before turn 1, and he goes up to 8th place. An outstanding overtake from Venom, getting the shotgun exit on the final corner, pushes his way up to 8th. An extraordinary pace. And actually, we did miss it. Wooly just got past Grays 1 previously, and he pushes his way up to 5th. Now has Renegade on his front bumper, and he needs to make it on his rear bumper, trying to get past Renegade. Let's see if he can get the job done. We're gonna check back with him, but we still have this huge train in 7th to 9th, with ATK leading that train, with Venom close behind, recently overtaking Clint Freeman. Let's see if we can get the job done here as well, as we are entering the penultimate corner. This downhill right-hander. Let's see if Venom has got it. He's on the inside, and ATK is now on the outside, now on the inside of the final corner, and couldn't get the job done. ATK recovered from that super late braking on that penultimate corner. But let's see, Venom does have the slipstream's going to be decreasing that gap just a little bit. And I'm looking at out front, actually. Wooly was looking for a move on Renegade into turn 1. Didn't get the job done, but now has Grays 1 on his tail end. And Grays 1's going to be looking on the inside of turn 3. Let's see if he's got it. Late braking, and Wooly closes the gap on Grays 1, keeps that 5th place position. Now we're going to go back down with ATK, who has Clint Freeman. Oh, actually, Clint Freeman has gone past Venom. Let's check to see what happened there. As we were seeing, looks like Venom just had a terrible exit into turn 1. Well, actually, out of turn 1. And Clint Freeman was able to push his way back up to 8th place. So well done, Clint Freeman. Well done. And gets back ahead of Venom. Let's see if Venom can answer back with an overtake of his own. Wooly looking on the inside once again, trying to get the positions early on, Wooly. And he is just pushing, trying to test these drivers to see how they are doing. But look at Agoni with the almost 5-second lead. What an outstanding pace that we have seen from the Canadian driver. Now reached the 5-second gap. Well done. Big Red just struggling to keep up with Agoni. After having pole position, is now down to second, and is now 5 seconds behind, struggling to keep the pace. Let's see how he does with those rubbers, as we are now entering lap 7, the midway of lap 7, I should say, as well. And now it looks like ATK is still holding up. Venom actually got the overtake on Clint Freeman again, and Kobe looking on the overtake on ATK on the inside of the hairpin of turn 6, and is able to get the job done turn 7. And now turn 8, ATK is trying to attack back on the inside, and looks like he's got the better exit, he's got the better traction, but Venom has actually got the better pace on that exit, and Venom goes back up to 7th. Carbon Boy trying to into the frame, as Clint Freeman's trying to go on a super late dive on ATK, almost gets the job done, gets a little bit of a boost from Carbon Boy on the rear end. And now for 9th and 8th place with ATK and Clint, it's going to be a drag race into turn 1. ATK getting a little bit of a better exit than Venom, using the slipstream as well. Could be looking for Clint Freeman and Carbon Boy now. Carbon Boy, as Clint Freeman moves out of the way of the slipstream, Carbon Boy could be looking for a double overtake right here as he pushes his way up to 8th place. An amazing overtake by Carbon Boy, a double overtake to be exact, as we have just witnessed. An amazing overtake. Just saw ATK and actually, hold on, what has happened here? Clint Freeman is falling down the pecking order now. Probably got a little bit of dirt onto those rubbers. Has to clean them off before he can continue back on. And now we're actually going to go up to 3rd place after seeing a close battle with Supermax and Wooly. Wooly trying to look for the late dive on the inside. Let's see if he's able to do it. He has the inside line. Supermax takes a super wide line on the penultimate corner, and Wooly makes his way down. And Grays 1 is trying to get past. As he does, it's a drag race here between Grays 1 and Supermax. Race 1 makes his way up to 4th place. Supermax losing out 2 positions, 1 from Wooly and 1 from Grays 1. Let's see how that job was able to be done. As we're actually going to go on board with Supermax. As you can see, just was on the outside, but takes a super wide line, struggling to get on the power, nudges a little bit of Wooly, and then you can also see Grays 1 having the better exit on the final corner, and has to sacrifice the position as he makes his way down to 5th place. But so far, an outstanding race from the American of Supermax. I believe looks like he has 3 nations on that front bumper. Looks like Mexico, Australia, and it looks like America. But now we're actually going to go back to Wooly, as Wooly has had an outstanding race here today so far. Started on last place and has pushed his way towards the podium positions already, and it's only been around 10 minutes. Only around 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. Outstanding racing from ART Wooly already. And I'm not shocked, because I know how this guy drives. He drives like a speed demon. But he makes his way into the podium positions, and it looks like he's catching up a little bit to Big Red in 2nd place. Wooly is definitely a man to watch out for. Could be looking at a huge race here today from ART Wooly. Oh man, actually we're gonna go near the back actually, as we're seeing RWB J-Rod and Bite the Roses having a little bit of battle. J-Rod actually struggling on the exit of turn 1, hitting the curb on the outside, but also hitting the grass, slowing down his pace a lot as he makes his way into last place. Of course, J-Rod getting into the podium finishes back at Kyoto. Now sorry about that, guys. I'm pretty sure I had that off. So sorry about that, guys. Professional streamer, as you can tell. But actually, hold on. Looks like a battle near the front. As we're seeing Carbon battle out for 9th place. We're seeing Wooly hold off. And now we're also seeing Venom and Renegade battles all over the field here, ladies and gentlemen. As we're seeing Venom look on the inside. And he gets past Renegade into 6th place. And it looks like Little Mac is going to try and make his move as well. We're going to go on board to see how he does. As he breaks late on the inside of Renegade. Goes up to 7th. And Venom taking a wide line, and actually Little Mac sees the space on the inside, but just couldn't get the traction down without bumping tires. And Venom stays in that 6th place. You can see Little Mac trying to stay behind Venom into these tight moves because he does not want to make the overtake just yet and lose a lot of pace. He wants to make it where he gains a lot of pace, which is of course the finishing straight, or it could be here. As he is right on the tail end. He's going to be looking on the inside for a late break. And he shoots off into the sand. Oh, Little Mac. Actually, no, that's the gravel. Little Mac just trying to get the move done, but just couldn't. We're going to check back to see how that panned out. We're going to go up with 6 on Venom. And we're going to go on board. As you can see, making the move on the outside, just breaks super late and goes right into the sand, losing positions all the way down to 10th place. Very unfortunate to see, but we'll see if he can make his way back up. It is very unfortunate. But then again, we are back up to 3rd as we're actually looking at close to a 3-way battle for 2nd place. Wooly in the middle of that battle in 3rd. Big Red leading that battle in 2nd, and Gray's 1 just right on the tail end of Wooly in 4th place. These drivers are giving it their all already, as it's been 15 minutes. Only 15 minutes, and we're already seeing Wooly closing in on 2nd place. So far, Wooly has had the drive of a lifetime as he's looking on the inside, trying to get the job done. Let's see if he can. Has now 7/10 behind, and we could not forget that Igoni, with the outstanding lead of 9 seconds to Big Red, has gotten the overtake early in this race and has been pushing his way this early and just trying to give himself a little bit of insurance if he spins out or when he makes the pit stop. And I'm looking at it. Oh, actually, it looks like a battle near the back here with Venom and Supermax. Venom trying to look on the inside, but couldn't get the job done. Is going to be eyeing down once again on Supermax. This is where we almost saw Supermax get the overtake on Venom, and of course, actually no, not Supermax. We actually saw a driver go completely off of the track, actually, in the Little Mac, and Venom is trying to keep up. Looks like this long left-hander of turn 8, I want to say. Yep, turn 8. And then the right hand of turn 9, then another right hand of turn 10, and Venom's going to be looking on the inside of Supermax as they're now going to go side by side into turn 10, the penultimate turn, and Venom is able to get the job done, pushes his way back up to 5th place. Could be now eyeing down Wooly, and actually we're going to go back up with Wooly as he is still 7/10 behind, struggling right behind Big Red. He's going to be having a lot of dirty air behind that Hyundai Genesis. But it looks like he's getting a lot of slipstream as well off of the exit, as we are now seeing that down to 3/10. Is Wooly going to be making the late move here? No, he is not. Actually trying to get the inside move onto the lines. Actually braking a little bit earlier than Big Red and Gray's 1. Trying to slow down a little bit to actually make the shotgun move on the inside, but is not able to do it just yet. A little bit too far behind, you might say, for ART Wooly. Now into turn 8. This long left-hander Wooly actually gets a better line through it. Could be getting a lot more pace on the exit. Actually, he does not. Big Red gets a lot of pace on the shotgun exit, taking a wider line to have a faster exit into that corner. And now ART Wooly on the inside. Oh! And Big Red takes a super wide line, misses the braking zone, and ART Wooly makes his way into second place. Big Red just mistiming the braking zone and has fallen down to fourth place, as we do see ART Wooly with the outstanding race so far. But it's always more to come. It looks like a little bit of a battle near the back here with Renegade and Carbon Boy. Carbon Boy's making the move on the inside of Renegade and pushes his way back to 7th, as we actually see ATK closing in on that battle. Oh, and it looked like Renegade was opting for the move on the inside, but couldn't get the job done. And Renegade now has ATK right on his tail end. Is ATK going to be making the move on the inside? No, but they do touch, actually. Bumper to bumper racing here today. And looks like this five-way battle for that 6th place position is going to get... It's just going to brew even hotter, as we're now going to go back up with Wooly and Graze 1. It looks like Graze 1 is really struggling to keep the pace against Wooly. That dirty air is really messing up this driver. But this is where he has to see if he can get the job done. With the slipstream on the long straight, is going to be closing down that gap. Not going to be enough to make a move into turn 1. But it is a hell of an effort from Graze 1 so far, trying to eye down ART Wooly, who has again had the drive of a lifetime. But let's also see now near the back of the grid with Clint Freeman, as we do remember, had a little bit of an incident going on the grass a little bit and just messing up his car, moving down to 11th place. Same goes with a very promising J-Rod, actually, who is just struggling here at Autopolis. Could be not one of his favorite tracks, but one person that is making this technically their favorite track is actually Igoni, who is currently ahead by 10 seconds. A whole 10 seconds. Igoni is leading the way. Outstanding pace he has shown here today. And it could just be even better for him in the later on in this race. Now we're going to go down to 7th, as we are now looking at Carbon closing in, looking on the outside. Supermax taking the defensive move on the inside, and it's a drag race into turn 1. Supermax on the inside, Carbon Boy on the outside. Who's going to come out on top of this battle? Oh, and Carbon Boy smacks into the inside and goes onto the grass to lose a little bit of pace on that exit. And now Supermax could be using that as an opportunity to take back 6th place. As we see it now, trying to make the move on the inside, but isn't able to get the job done. Carbon Boy has really recovered from that almost a spin right there. But look at Ice, look at Little Mac taking the late dive, pushes ATK wide, and makes his way up to 8th place. An amazing overtake there from Little Mac. Now eyeing down Supermax. As we're looking at it now, has the better exit, the faster exit, looking around the outside into this right-hander. Let's see if Little Mac can get the job done. Oh, it takes a super wide line. Supermax could be able to get it back, but it's not. Little Mac is able to keep that position of 7th place. Well done. But this is what Carbon wants. This is what Carbon wants completely. Trying to stay ahead, letting the drivers behind get into their own battle, slow themselves down with him trying to run away with it. But it looks like Little Mac has fully got the position. Carbon Boy still getting a little bit of dirt into those rubbers. Probably got a little bit of PTSD on that. And actually, we're going to go down to 10th place after seeing Renegade take the late move on ATK on the inside, but it's not going to be able to get the job done. Still struggling to get his way into the single-digit positions. Let's see if Renegade can get back to it, but it just doesn't look like it. It looks like the pace of ATK and the drivers ahead of him is just too much, and maybe with that dirty air, with that so much dirty air, with like 4 cars of dirty air, could be really struggling to keep the pace on into these corners. And he's just going to continuously start falling back and falling back. But now Wooly once again he's practically pulling Gray's 1 at this point. And the thing is, now Wooly has gotten that gap down to 9 seconds. So it looks like Wooly has done this very, very well, trying to keep up with Igoni, and also while preserving fuel and tires. And I'm actually gonna see. Oh, actually, it looks like we have a little bit of an overtake near the back with Little Mac and Carbon Boy. We're gonna see who comes out on top, and Little Mac is able to get the position, make his way up to 6th place. Let's see how he was able to get that job done. Looks like a late braking on the inside of turn 1. Carbon Boy in 6th, now down to 7th. Just couldn't get the power down, and Little Mac makes his way. So outstanding stuff from Little Mac. Pushes his way up to 6th place after having that spin out into the sand after trying to battle with Venom. And it looks like he's having a little bit of a recovery drive so far, so well done to Little Mac, just learning from his mistake earlier and just pushing his way back. And actually, are we looking at the overtake that we've been waiting for from Gray's 1? Gray's 1 just closing in on Wooly into turn 1, is not going to be able to get the job done right now. Could be eyeing down for maybe an undercut opportunity. You never know. But we're going to now go on board with Gray's 1, as we are seeing him trying to keep up, trying to get the position, and is struggling a little bit, but just getting a little bit of sliding on those old rubbers, 20 lap old rubbers that we can say now. But ART Wooly defending like a lion into that 2nd place. And we can actually see it now. You can actually see the gap between Wooly and Igoni just coming even shorter, where it's around 8 seconds now. Was it 10 seconds a few laps ago? And now Wooly is just catching up a little bit to Igoni. Igoni's pace has suffered a little bit. Could be due to those old rubbers, but we will soon find out, as we're also seeing Wooly defending against Gray's 1. But Gray's 1 doesn't even want to make the overtake here, as he knows that Wooly's just going to keep on pulling him with that slipstream. And now Renegade on the tail end of Supermax. Let's see if Renegade could be able to make the move. Doesn't look like he's able to get it now. Actually takes a super white line, gets a little bit of grass on those rubbers. And we're seeing ATK now trying to keep up with that battle for 8th place. All of these drivers actually having close battles all over the field. This is a pretty outstanding session right now. An outstanding race here at Autopolis. I just wish I could see something like this in real life, because where I'm from, we don't really have these type of trucks. Renegade with the shotgun exit is going to be closing down on Supermax on this long left-hander. Could be looking on the inside right now, as he is trying to make the move right now on the inside. Pushes Supermax wide, and Renegade makes his way up to 8th place. An outstanding overtake from Renegade right there. What an overtake that we have just witnessed. Supermax just struggling around that long left-hander of turn 8 and just couldn't get the job done. But I'm looking at it now. Supermax could be looking at taking that position back, as he is on the slipstream right behind Renegade. Could be looking on the inside move, which he is, but has to back out of it, as Renegade had a better defensive line. As we're seeing Renegade going over the grass on the apex. Well, not the apex, the exit curb, and just couldn't get the pace. And it looks like Supermax is kind of in a sandwich at this point of ATK and Renegade, just trying to get that pace. As we're also seeing, it's a little bit of bumper cars a little bit between those three. Nothing too major, but could be looking at a little bit of disformity on that car. Could be struggling a little bit with some pace, but now we're gonna see how that gap has developed between Wooly and Igoni, and it's now down to 7.5 seconds. And it looks like Wooly is pulling away from Gray's 1. Wooly having a drive again, a drive of a lifetime. Venom actually pushing his way up to 4th, is gonna be looking at that battle up ahead. But it kind of looks like Wooly is starting to run away from that battle in 2nd place. So Wooly having an outstanding race here today. Could be up for driver of the day, commentator's driver of the day. I always like to give some of the drivers who has had an outstanding race a little bit of recognition. But let's see now, Lindbergh actually also could be up for driver of the day, having that earlier late braking zone against Venom into the gravel of turn 10. And it looks like he has pushed his way back up to 6th after him falling down to 10th place. So having a pretty good recovery drive, Little Mac. Got those, learning from his mistakes and just keeping that consistency. As we could be looking at him pushing his way up to 5th place. As we're looking at him in Big Red, he's closing in on Big Red. Let's see if he's able to get the job done here. Learns from his mistake, breaks a little bit later, but now on the inside and makes his way up to 5th place. Little Mac, well done, my good sir, pushing your way up to 5th place. Outstanding, outstanding, outstanding. And I don't think anyone right now can judge that negatively, because that was outstanding, Little Mac. Still got around an hour left of racing, a whole hour of Autopolis, a whole hour of GT Champions. I hope you guys are ready. But a few drivers that have done it pretty well here is Wooly, Venom, and Little Mac. And it doesn't look like there's any other battles on the track, so we're gonna get a quick word from actually I will tell you who we are sponsored by. Of course, we've had it on the screen for quite a while, and I did say it at the beginning, but why not say it once again? Of course, Detailing Group Incorporate is a company that carries out Tekla Structures 3D, which is the leader in 3D designing world for mainly construction building, but a little bit of steel fabrications as well. A few of our other sponsors are Metropolis, High Pre, Pride at the Dragon, and also 12 Ounce Sports Network. Of course, I do want to remind you guys a little bit that these drivers only have one set of softs, one set of mediums, and we are now 10 minutes away from the pit stop period. Oh, and I'm looking near the back. It looks like we might have a spin, and it looks like it's Bite the Roses. Let's see what's happened with him there. Looks like in 13th, making his way up to 10th place. Did he just get a late braking zone? Yeah, taking a super wide line onto the grass, onto the gravel, and it makes a full 180. And letting J-Rod make the move before he re-enters the track. Well done to Bite the Roses, but very unfortunate for him, as he was actually having a pretty good race until earlier incidents, and then that one just stacked on top just did not do him very well. As you can see, struggling to keep the pace and traction. And now Igoni with Wooly is now down to 5 seconds of time difference. Is getting very, very close between 1st and 2nd place now. Was about 10 seconds near lap 20, now lap 26, and is down to half of it, 5 seconds. And now Gray's 1 is actually in 3rd, still trying to keep up and trying to make the move on Wooly. Or is he just trying to play the patient game? Stay behind Wooly, let Wooly pull him through the race, through the track, until it comes to the pit stop period. And I think that battle is not gonna go anywhere. And it doesn't look like there's much happening on the track. A few very close battles, but no one trying to make a move. It looks like everyone's playing the patient game until 10 minutes, now 8 minutes, where we have the pit window open. And now it's down to 4.5 seconds between Wooly. Actually, no, 4.7 I should say, between Wooly and Igoni. So that gap is just shortening and shortening and shortening. Looks like Igoni previously started on the softs. Looks like Wooly actually started on the mediums. At least that's from what I'm thinking, as Igoni had an outstanding pace at the beginning of this endurance race. And Wooly having a pretty good pace as well, starting in second last place, pushing, I believe, starting in second last place. Am I right about that? I believe so. I can't really check right now, but yeah, it's getting pretty close now. Down to 4 seconds. Wooly is being consistent with his pace and just increasing the gap between him and Graysman, but decreasing the gap between him and Igoni first place. And I think that is one sector where Igoni is strong, is turn 8. Loses a little bit of time on the outside line, but gains all of it back and more on the exit. So it looks like on turn 8, it looks like taking the wider line is actually optimal for the driver. Looks like it could be the better one out. But now we have 7 minutes until the pit window opens, and we're gonna see who is going to be on top. And actually, look, Grays won, making the move on the inside. Was tired of waiting, and he's able to get the job done. Did they touch through that? I think there was a little bit of contact between the two drivers. We're gonna actually check that real quick as that battle unfolds. As we're gonna go on board with Grays 1, looking on the inside, just got impatient and just brakes super late, and yep, there was contact. Wooly keeps the car on the inside of the track, so very well done to Wooly. But now he has Venom right on the tail, and these two drivers really know each other for their pace, as we are now seeing could be a change in the drivers championship, with Wooly trying to defend it against Venom. Only 1 point, I believe, separates these two drivers. No, or it could be 2. It's either 1 or 2 points, and that's going to be crucial between these positions, as we're now seeing Grays 1 starting to catch up to Igoni now. The gap down to a 3.4. And it really makes you think, is Grays 1 now going to be up for the lead in the next coming of laps? It looks like the striking distance is going to be in a couple laps, maybe 4 or maybe 5 more laps. But now we have 5 minutes until the pit stop window opens, and we're going to see who is going to be coming out on which tires and who is going to be having the better outlap. And we might see a few undercuts. Who's going to stay out? Who's going to go in? We will soon find out in 5 minutes time. As we're now seeing Wooly and Venom once again battling it out, still having a good battle. We're going to have to wait and see. Wooly and Venom, Venom actually right on that tail and really trying to keep up. But it's just struggling just a little bit with that dirty air into these corners. Has the better exit on the penultimate corner of turn 10. Now turn 11, having the slipstream. It's going to be closing in. Let's see how much that gap closes in actually with that slipstream. Started like around 5 tenths. Now down to 4 tenths, close to 3.5 tenths. As you can now see, oh, and Venom struggling with the dirty air there with the slipstream. Of course, if you're trying to brake down during the slipstream is going to be taking you a little bit longer to brake than without slipstream, due to the fact of air resistance. But now Wooly is trying to take back that second place that was rightfully taken away from him. But he could rightfully take it back, as he is now eyeing down Grays 1. Getting very close between all of these drivers over the field, and now we can see Igoni's car is now within reach of Grays 1. And now we are going to see if Grays 1 can be able to take first place for the time being. And it looks like it's getting very, very close. 3 minutes now until the pit window opens. Now it makes you wonder, did we actually see a pit stop happen prior from drivers spitting out and potentially getting themselves a little bit of damage? We'll have to check back with them after the race potentially. But Wooly now trying to keep up with Gray's one, trying to. And he is actually catching up a little bit, just decreasing that gap by a few tenths in each corner. But it looks like he's in a very tight sandwich here. It looks like in a very tight sandwich of Gray's one and Venom. He must be under a lot of pressure at this point. But it looks like now 2 tenths separate Gray's one and Igoni. Oh, it looks like Gray's one is actually struggling a little bit with traction. Gets a faster exit, but it looks like he was struggling a little bit with the traction on those tires. Looks like we are set for 2 more laps before the pit window opens. Or at least 2 more laps for the front runners, of course. Ooh, and Gray's one goes super wide, loses a lot of pace on the exit of turn 1. Wooly is now gonna see if he can make the move. He opted for it on the inside, but couldn't get the job done. We're gonna now see if Wooly's gonna be able to get back up. Venom now trying to enter the frame, as we're now seeing at this 3-way battle for that second place position is going to be brewing up for quite a while. Let's see if any of these drivers can make a move. It's going to be very, very close, as Wooly is now going to be looking on the inside potentially. Nope. As we're seeing Gray's one close the gap there, gets a little bit of a nudge from Venom, a helpful nudge, as he's able to carry a little bit more pace on that exit. And now 1.4 seconds separate Gray's one and Igoni. Looks like this is the closest battle, and a pretty important battle, as we're looking at Wooly give Gray's one a little bit of his own medicine and pushes his way on the inside of turn 1, and Venom is able to get past, making his way into 3rd place. Gray's one, of course, sacrificing 2 positions for the wide line into turn 1, and Wooly goes back up to 2nd, is now going to be eyeing down Igoni in 1st place. But it looks like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The pit window is now open, ladies and gentlemen. 10 minutes of pit window. Who is going to be getting the most out of it? As we're seeing Wooly and Venom now going side by side into the penultimate turn. Whoever gets past here will be the first one out of the 2 to make their way into the pit lane. Potentially, if they both make their way through. But it looks like Igoni... Oh, everyone is actually staying out. Everyone's probably going to be waiting for the final minutes. No one's going to be trying to make an undercut move here. Oh, it looks like we have a battle brewing out at the back. We're not gonna lose this battle yet. But I gotta check this out real quick, guys. As we're now seeing Clint. Oh, did Green take a wide line? I believe he did, but Clint Freeman in 11th is going to be battling out. Oh, ATK is going to be the first driver to make the pit stop. Let's see which tires he goes on. He has on the mediums, and he has to go with a set of softs. And he has to fuel up that car down to 30 out of 100. Could be looking at maybe 75, maybe 80 if he is able to do the same job. Let's see how he does. Looks like the only driver that's making the pit stop now. Yep, on those set of softs, going to be coming out just in front of Bite the Roses. Let's see how he does. But now we're going to go back to Venom. Actually, Venom has gone past Wooly earlier on in that lap. I'm sorry that we did miss that. But now Igoni is going to be shaking with his tail in between his legs as he's now seeing the gap now down to only a second, with Venom close in second, Wooly in third, and Grays 1 in fourth. These four drivers up in front, giving us a show to watch here, ladies and gentlemen. Same with Green, Clint, Freeman, and Supermax, all having a good battle there for that 9th place position. But now Igoni, trying to keep the lead, trying to stay ahead, is now losing a little bit of pace as his previous lap was a 113.9, where Venom's was a 113.2, 8/10 gain between these two drivers. And now the gap is down to 4/10, now 3/10. Who's going to be coming out on top into the penultimate corner? Igoni takes a drifting line on that, takes a super wide line on the exit, tries to keep it, but looks like his tires are going to be done as he makes his... Actually, no, he's going to stay out. He's going to stay out. I thought he was going to be making his way into the pit lane. But now, Venom takes the lead with Wooly in second, Grays 1 in third, and Igoni falls down to 4th place. And it looks like Little Mac is going to be entering the frame and could be making this a 5-way battle for that position. We will soon find out how that brews, as we're now seeing Renegade, Supermax, Clint Freeman, and Green having a battle of their own. Green closing in on Clint Freeman, could be making the move into turn 1. He's going to be looking on the inside, brakes later, and he's able to get the job done for the time being, of course, as we're now seeing Clint make the super dive like a torpedo and just smacks into the side of Green. Could be a little bit of damage between those two drivers. But Supermax in 9th, going to be eyeing down Renegade in 8th. Close, they're actually getting very close here. But now we're going to go back to the front, where we're seeing Venom and Wooly starting to have a battle. Well, not starting, continuing their battle, as we're seeing Grays 1 and Little Mac. Little Mac actually recently gotten past Igoni, and Igoni's pace is just getting slower and slower with those old set of tires. Having an outstanding start in this race, but has to consider the fact that his tires could be looking a little bit on the bold end, and could be opting for a set of tires. As you can see, we're actually going to go on board with Igoni. As you can see, just struggling a little bit with the traction, as you can hear those rubbers screeching out in pain into these corners. Gonna be having to look for the pit stop now. Yeah, and I actually just saw it, his tires were struggling a little bit on the fronts. Didn't really show it that much, so we're all good on that. But yeah, it's getting very, very promising, as we're seeing that 4-way battle for first place starting to brew up even higher. And it looks like Venom is starting to pull away from Wooly in 2nd place. Let's see, is he going to be making the way into the pit lane? Yes, he is. Of course, you got to watch out for that pit lane. And makes the job done now in the 44th minute. Only 4.5 minutes left of pit stop time. The pit window is only open for a little bit. As you can see, all of the pit crew up ahead waiting for the drivers to make their way into the pit lane, as it's going to be very, very close. Igoni started on the softs, going to be making his way out on a set of mediums. Let's see how he does once he re-merges. But now Venom still leading the way, and could be leading the Drivers' Championship in this position. It will all soon find out. 44 minutes now left of the pit window. These drivers need to consider making a pit stop now, and they could be looking at an undercut on the drivers up ahead. So if I was in any of these drivers' shoes right now, I would make the pit stop as soon as possible. Little Mac actually pushing his way up to 3rd place. But now Venom, no one is going into the pit lane. This is actually getting a little bit concerning, because there's only a few minutes left of that pit window being open. and did go way too late into the pit lane and make a pit stop after the pit lane, could be looking at a potential, a huge potential time penalty, a whole second of time penalties as well, as we're seeing Carbon Boy make his way into the pit lane. Started on a set of mediums, will be going on a set of softs. And we're actually going to look at this. So it was 17.7 seconds behind Venom into the pit stop. We're actually going to see how much of an undercut he gets, if he does get an undercut. Oh, it looks like a battle near the back. As I'm looking at it now, Igoni making his way back onto track, making his way past Clint Freeman on those new set of mediums, as he's getting a little bit of dirt on them into this upcoming corner. Could be sliding out a little bit. Doesn't look like it just yet. Two minutes left, and there you go. The drivers are making their way into the pit lane. Oh, and did I see that right? Did Grays 1 stay out? Grays 1 has stayed out. There's only 2 minutes left, and you can see he has the indicator that he was looking to go into the pit lane, his left indicator being on, of course, and it does not look like he's going to. As we're now seeing Venom fuel up his car, looks like taking a little bit more fuel than Wooly and Little Mac. Let's see who comes out first. And the thing is, you want to get less fuel than the driver up ahead, but you don't want to underfuel your car by too much. And Igoni is down to 4th now 5th, as he re-enters the frame just behind. Gonna be making the late move potentially into turn 1 on Little Mac, but couldn't. Looks like the new mediums did not pay out too well, as it for some reason says 32.8 seconds separate him in first place. As oh, actually no, it does. Grays 1, that's right, Grays 1 did stay out, and looks like he could be making the way into the pit stop now. As he does, it's the right call there. Only 1 minute left. Makes his way into the pit lane on his old set of mediums. Now we're actually going to see which position he comes out on now, because the undercut could be strong here. Grays 1 was about, I'd say, if I do remember correctly, was only a few tenths behind Grays. Behind Venom. Probably a second, probably 2 seconds. And now we're going to see how strong that undercut is. They're both coming out on a new set of softs, and Venom is now pulling away. The undercut is actually pretty strong from what it looks like, as we're now seeing Grays 1 come out of the pit lane behind Igoni. And now Grays 1 is now down to 8 seconds now on those new set of softs. So it looks like staying out did not turn out too well for the tribute driver of Grays 1. So very unfortunate to see, but let's see how he does in the next coming of laps, as we're now seeing ATK and Carbon Boy giving themselves a little bit of a battle for that 6th place. And now going to the back as well, we're seeing a little bit of Renegade and Supermax giving each other a little bit of a hard time, as we are now seeing 39 minutes left here at GT Champions Tier 3 at the Autopolis shortcut circuit. And it looks like Venom is leading the way in first place. Second is going to be Wooly so far. Third is Little Mac. Fourth is Igoni. Fifth, Grays 1s. And 6th we have ATK. And 7th we have Carbon Boy. 8th we have Big Red. 9th we have Renegade. 10th we have Supermax. 11th we have Green. 12th we have J-Rod, who doesn't really have a good race here today. 13th we have Clint Freeman, right on the tail end of J-Rod, I should say. And 14th is going to be Bite the Roses, not having a drive of a lifetime, not having a drive that he would want to remember too often. But of course, with the drivers having a little bit of banter between each other, it's just opted to happen. You already know that's going to happen no matter what. But these drivers really giving everyone a tough time here, as we are now seeing Venom starting to pull away from Wooly. Look at this downhill right-hander, the penultimate corner of the Autopolis shortcut circuit. And Venom gets the faster exit, as it's getting very close between all of these drivers, and I just had my analog stick stuck on my chest. And of course, while we are waiting, of course, thanks again to our sponsors of Detailing Group Incorporate. We also have Metropolis, High Pre, Pride, I believe it's Pride at the Dragon. Yep, Pride at the Dragon, and of course, 12 Ounce Sports Network. Thank you guys so much for helping GT Champions grow, and I hope we did the same thing with you. And we could not be ever more grateful to have you on our side. We could never be more grateful. But it looks like we have a battle near the back, actually, probably for P7, with Carbon Boy and ATK still giving each other a little bit of a battle. And did ATK actually overtake Carbon Boy? I am not too sure, to be honest with you. We're gonna have to check back earlier on in the stream once this goes out. But so far, outstanding racing. So far, outstanding racing, and there's nothing that could be better than this. Absolutely nothing. But it looks like these drivers are getting very, very close here. But, well, oh, and actually look at this, Carbon and ATK are having a drag race into turn 1. Carbon Boy on the outside, ATK on the inside. He's gonna come out on top. As we're looking at it, hits the apex. ATK hits the apex, but Carbon Boy got the faster exit, pushes his way into 7th place. Well done, my good sir. Now we're gonna push up to 5th, as we're seeing Igoni making his way past Bite the Roses. Oh, and gets on the curbs a little bit and loses a little bit of control there, as Bite the Roses is able to unlap himself from Igoni in 5th place. And it looks like back up to 1st and 2nd is where we need to stay, as Venom and Wooly are starting to pull away from the drivers behind. And this is their race, their one chance, their opportunity to make their chance known. It just makes you wonder who's going to come out on top. 35 minutes left until we find out. Could be 60 plus laps here today. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see 70, because these drivers' pace is extraordinary. At the beginning, we've had a Igoni with an outstanding pace, losing out a little bit due to those old softs, and the medium runners were able to catch up a little bit with the tire life being a little bit longer. But now it is reverse, as we're seeing the medium runners start on the mediums, now down to the softs after coming out of the pit lane. We're gonna see if anyone can make a move. Oh, and I'm looking near the back. Did we see a little bit of a spin in 9th place? It looks like there was a little bit of grass on Renegade's car, if I do remember correctly. I did see the cursor on the map just turn just slightly, so it looks like Renegade could have potentially gotten a little bit of dirt on his rubbers, on his new set of rubbers as well. Only around between 6 and 16 minute old rubbers, but is in 9th place and is holding back Supermax. So well done, my friend. Clint Freeman has also caught up to J Rod. Actually, their battle has been going on for quite a few laps now, and no changes as of just yet. But J Rod in 12th place, still trying to keep up with Green, who is currently 10 seconds ahead. But it looks like him and Clint is going to be having a long battle. As we're now going to go back up to the front, where we're seeing Venom and Wooly still give each other a little bit of a tougher time, Now as they enter turn 8, now towards turn 9 on the short right hand to a little bit of a short straight to a downhill right-hander of turn 10. Let's see if anyone is going to be able to make a move on the exit of this. Wooly takes a wider line there, and it looks like Venom had the better... Actually, no, Wooly had the better exit of that corner. Getting a little bit of a shotgun exit. Gained a little bit of pace, lost a little bit of time, but now has gained it back onto this finishing straight, where we're seeing the gap now go down to 5/10, and we've seen Wooly in this position. Was down by around a second. He's able to bring his way back up to 5/10. Now is going to be down to 3/10, and let's see, is Wooly about to make the move soon? And it doesn't look like it. Wooly trying to stay right on the tail end of Venom. First place is right on his sights. Venom takes a super tight line on the inside, but let's see, is Wooly able to make it back? Doesn't look like it as of yet. It's going to be very close between these drivers. Wooly going on to the apex on the inside, hits the curb on the outside, and it's going to be shortening that time down once again. But is it going to be enough as we're entering the finishing straight? As we're seeing the gap now down to 4/10, but it looks like Venom got a little bit of a faster exit of that corner. As you can see, back up to 5/10 on the top left. But the slipstream is going to be coming to Wooly's aid here as we're entering turn 1. But it looks like Venom got maybe a 10th faster lap compared to Wooly there. So starting to pull away just a little bit, but not as much, as it's still in a very uncomfortable position between the two drivers. Now we're gonna go down to maybe 7th, as we're seeing ATK and Carbon Boy still continue out their battle. Previously, Carbon Boy got the overtake on ATK, pushed his way up to 6th place, but could be looking at another overtake, as we're seeing Carbon Boy go over the curb a little bit, and ATK doing a little bit of bump drafting with Carbon on the exit of turn 1. Could be trading a little bit of bumpers there, but ATK still in 7th, where we are seeing Carbon Boy in 6th as we're entering turn 6. This sharp hairpin right-hander, and nothing has come out of it just yet. But now we're looking at Venom still holding off Wooly. Now the gap is up to 6/10, having gained another 10th on that lap. Wooly is starting to fall behind a little bit, but not by much, but it still could add up at the end, with now 30 minutes left here at GTC Tier 3. Again, I am your commentator, Justin Silva. But so far we have actually experienced an extraordinary race from the beginning, as we saw Igoni had a huge lead, and with those old set of softs lasting for quite a while, did lose out a little bit, as we're now seeing, I believe, Grays 1 and Carbon, or Grays 1 and Little, who was having a little bit of a battle. Oh, actually no, it was Carbon and ATK, as Carbon is still trying to hold off ATK in 6th place. Igoni is now down to 7th, and it could be joining in that battle with those new set of softs. He's had a little bit of an advantage on the traction, but needs to see if he can push those softs to the end of this race. It is possible, but does he have the skills? Actually, no, not new softs, new set of mediums actually. So the drivers ahead, I believe, are on a new set of softs, and could be having the advantage that way. But let's see, Igoni does have pretty strong pace overall here at Autopolis, but still is going to be behind. And it looks like Venom now is up to 8/10 ahead of Wooly. Wooly really needs to pick up the pace here. Just maybe go a little bit tighter on the corners, just to hold off that 1/10, because that 1/10 is growing lap by lap. Venom taking the tight line there on turn 6, the hairpin, and Wooly trying to keep up, and now back up to 8/10 the gap now, and it doesn't look like it's going to be changing whatsoever as we take this time. We're going to actually hear from one of our race interviews. We will be right back. Oh my god. I think that was one thing I should have said. Hold on. Oh, yeah, do you have it to where your voice is allowed to be shared in the party settings?
Mine is.
I'm just asking that to everyone, just because, yeah, it would just be in your party settings, and then you should see, allow voice to be shared, or something like that.
Yeah, allow your voice to be shared. It says,
yeah,
always allow.
But, it's just in the, so if you go to the party menu, and you just see party settings right there, and it says allow your voice to be shared, or something like that. But honestly,
it's allowed now.
Alright, beautiful. So then the people back at home will hear you. I'm still waiting on Egon, because I do want to ask him a few things. But, we can actually... yeah, but we won't just, start off with... Let's see, who should we start off with? Eeny, meeny, miny... I'm just joking. Little Mac. Are you there, mate? Alright, Little Mac. There's a few incidents that you were a part of that race. I want to flash you back to the first beginning, like near the beginning of the race, where you were battling with Venom actually into turn 10. I want to say was probably in the low 20 laps. It was like right before. It was like almost right before the pit stop opened. Yeah. So I want to ask you. So what happened there? Did you just miss time the braking zone? Did you have like dirt in your tires? What happened? Yeah. I mean, there's this. If he's, I probably have some of my mates watching this from different leagues. But if he is here, I'm actually gonna give him a shout out real quick. So when we were actually playing Formula One, do you know Spa, like the Belgian Grand Prix, Spa? So turn one. My friend put his foot on the clutch instead of the brakes and went right into the tail end of someone. Little Mac, did that happen to you, or did you just forgot to put your foot down? Like, what happened? Wait, what? I am. Honestly, with me having like European, well, specifically Portuguese heritage, it is so hard for me to just curse right now. But that is outrageously insanity. And you guys can probably think what I'm thinking in my head, what I'm trying to say. But honestly, that is outrageous. One leg. Well, of course, I want to say, of course, thank you so much for your service. Is just having people like you go out there instead of us puny gamers, where we're just either unfit, eat chips, sit down and lie down all day. We have strong people like you taking that sacrifice. So of course, big thanks to everyone. Big round of applause to Little Mac. But hey, you already done that sacrifice, so you know what? You should get an early retirement. But oh wow, congratulations. But I do have one little announcement for you, Little Mac. Get it, little announcement? I want to say that normally near the end of races, I give myself... I do myself, like, I give a driver of the day. Like, a commentator's driver of the day. And, of course, when my stupid head forgot to unmute the audio, so no one could hear anything after the Metropolis ad came on, I did say that you, Little Mac, me personally, is my commentator's driver of the day. Not only did you spin out and push your way back and having a really good recovery drive, but having a recovery drive to the point to where you find yourself in the podium positions. So of course, congratulations, and even just to top all that, you drive with one leg, and that's outrageous to me. I'm sorry. That's just outrageous. But honestly, congratulations. I think everyone is proud to have you here still. But another person some of them, oh, come on, we all love you, mate. We all love you here at GTC. But next, I actually want to go with Wooly. Are you here, mate? Good. Of course, I do have to give big props to you. I do want to thank you so much for recommending me to do this commentary job, even though I messed up near the end. Honestly, I've had a good time. I've had a good time, and honestly, thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you to you, Wooly, for recommending me for this, because honestly, I've had a blast, and it's only been like a few. It's only been a few. Yeah, that actually brought a tear to my eye when I heard the news, to be honest with you guys. Because it was only a few days ago that he's gone, and you can just imagine how the family is. And honestly, with you guys giving the tribute, it's just extraordinary. I was trying to hold it back in because it just reminded me of my friend. But But Willie, back to the race. We had our sad moments though, teacher. Back to the race. So you were actually in a pretty good position to having first place, and yeah, you had an extraordinary pace. But I do want to ask you one thing. I'm actually going to ask Venom this as well. When you saw because this was what I was going to ask. I'm still going to call him Inomi. But Inomi. When he had that 10-second lead near the beginning of the race, did you know that he was on the soft tires, and did you anticipate that he was gonna be finishing in the position that he did? Like, he finished like around 11th. Did you anticipate with having that such a huge lead to second place, starting on the front row as well, and then just losing it because of having the wrong pit strategy? Do you think that, like, did you already know at that point to where, like, when he was 10 seconds ahead, did you already know that he kind of messed up his race with the pit strategy, or?
Gray's one behind me, because we were having the top battle there. Obviously Venom was sitting just behind him as well, and that was just trying to put the laps together, keep the laps together, and keep the gap to Egon sensible. Because I knew at the pits when we all went on the softs, obviously we'd be in a better position, but didn't expect him to burn up his tyres as much as he did. So, and then obviously we all caught him sort of like pretty much at the same time. I think Venom got past myself and then sort of like set about Egon. So yeah.
Yeah, but of course a podium position for you near the end. Are you happy with your result, or do you think that you've messed up a little bit?
No, I'm happy with the result. I didn't have the pace on softs to cope with Venom. Simple as that. That long left-hander, he just battered me there every single lap, and just eked that little bit out, and as my tyres wore, I just couldn't live with that pace. So, and then obviously Little Mac caught me as well. Superb driving and pace from the pair of them. So, excellent job. So overall, yeah, happy with third, especially starting from, I don't know, where was it on the grid, 13th, something like that. So obviously put the fastest lap in again, I think. So happy with that. So good points, really.
Of course, congratulations on your finish. But now we need to segue our way through to the race winner here today at GTC-3 at the Autopolis shortcut circuit. Our main man Venom. How you doing, my man? How does it feel?
Doing great. It feels good.
You got lucky. You got lucky. If I would have messed up, I had you.
Yeah, I think you probably would have been at least up with me for sure.
I burned my tires up trying to get you up, but I couldn't do nothing then.
Yeah, it feels good. So second win in a row, third of the season, so feeling pretty good.
All right. Well, practically now you're basically going to be leading the drivers' championship. Do you think that is pretty much said and done for the drivers' championship? Do you see yourself winning the rest of the races and getting that golden trophy at the end of the season? What do you think? Like, can you call it this early?
I don't think I can call it this early. This group of guys right here is probably some of the closest racing I've ever been with, so I can't. If I take my foot off the gas at any point, there's no way I'm gonna even be able to take the championship. So I gotta make sure I keep practicing and put in the time. But yeah, these guys are quick, so I can't take prize.
Well, just like Dwayne Johnson, put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours, right? But
yeah,
you've done it very well. You've done it very well, taking the top step of the podium with lifting up that trophy nearing the end, and with my stupid muted butt. But yeah, honestly, congratulations again. We actually, if I do see this correctly, we find ourselves next week at the St. Croix Circuit C edition, where it doesn't look like GR3 cars, and am I looking at that right? The Audi R8 LMS.
No, it's actually an open class for this one, so
Oh.
any GT3 car is allowed on the track.
Any car. Fun.
Any car. Yeah.
Well, when it comes to this track, right? When it comes to this track, and actually, I believe we do see J-Rod currently on the track. What type of car would you be looking at here? Would you be looking at a higher downforce or a higher top speed car? Because there are a few turns, there are a few like tight turns, but there's a few a few straights. Of course, one of them is the bridge that links up sector 2 and actually sector 3 and sector 4 into the tough uphill left-hander. But what would you say, a higher top end speed, or would you be looking more of into a higher downforce?
We could go either way, I think. I'm probably personally going to go with the M6 because I always do really well in that car here. So.
Isn't there two M6s?
Yeah, but they're both practically the same. Yeah. The only difference is fog lights.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, they're the same car.
Yeah, same exact car, same setups, everything.
Well, there you go. Of course, we couldn't get word from Igoni, so hopefully we'll catch him next time if he has a good race at Saint Croix. But that is going to be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. 90-minute endurance race. Of course, tribute to Osgrad and. Oh, actually, no, I didn't. I said that wrong, didn't I? Osgod? Osgod. Osquad, sorry. My mind's been all over the place. But, yeah, Osquad. Rest in peace, my man. We have your support down here. We know that you're up there with your wings wide open and strong. But, yeah, tell my friend that I said hi, my man. Tell my friend. But, that is gonna be it, and we're gonna see you guys with the outro.